Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you are. This is actually intended to be timed so that it would be Americas and East Asia. And so we have at least one, maybe a couple speakers today from Asia, and hopefully, quite a number of attendees as well. Let's see as we continue to grow here. This is a League of Opportunities. League of Opportunities is different from League of Extraordinaries here at Global Chamber. League of Extraordinaries is a long-time original signature event for business service providers who are doing extraordinary work to connect with each other and build the business referral network. This one is a little different. League of Opportunities is members who have opportunities they'd like to share. Typically, we'll do up to 10 minutes, and typically that means 5 minutes for a presentation and 5 minutes for Q&A. I hope all the speakers will consider that rather than just speaking for 10 minutes. If you'd allow us the pleasure of asking questions and conversing, that almost always is a better approach. We have 5 speakers queued up, and what typically will happen also is because we'll usually have dozens of folks in the audience. We'll also kind of reach out as you either ask questions or at the end of the program, if we have a little bit of time, we'll just kind of circle the room and feel free to introduce yourself and anything that you need or anything that we should be hearing about in terms of new opportunities. We're rolling out Global Chamber communities right now, and one of the things that's really kind of overriding as we do that, and you'll see more and more communications, very specific communications over the next weeks, is new opportunities. Our goal is for members to make new connections, new opportunities, understand markets in a new and fresh way, and that's a lot of what this event is all about as well. So let's kick off with Denise Lopez Moran of DIDCOM. We'll learn more about what they're doing and hopefully anything new that you have going on. Denise, it's a pleasure to maybe meet you. I know you've been a member for a little while, but I don't remember introducing you yet. So I'm very anxious and very interested to learn more so that we can find some opportunities for you and also identify people and leaders who can tap into your opportunity. So thank you for joining us today. What would you like to share?
Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, we've been at DIDCOM members for a few months now. I hope not a year, and not being able to meet, to be in all these meetings, but everyone and then we connect. So I'm so glad to see all those faces. And my name is Denise Lopez. I'm in Mexico. I'm happy to see you. In this call is connected from DIDCOM also Laura Durazo over there. She's from our team in Mexico. And I would like to take this opportunity, my 5 minutes, to introduce a little of what we do, and maybe know if there's know your business too, and know you, and see what can we do together. Our company DIDCOM is a technological company. We are based in North Mexico, but we just recently opened our corporation in Arizona, too, in the States. Our focus is to be able to bring services to the transport sector, and many industries either they do transport as a business, or they use transport as a way to do their business. For example, schools, they use buses to move the students. We have supermarkets that they need these trucks in order to be able to deliver food and do all their cold chain and everything. So what we do is we provide these vehicles with technology, so we can follow follow them in the map, know what kind of problems the units may have, know if they are accomplishing with their compromises, meeting all our clients, this and that. We indeed are related to all these different sectors. Maybe we can explain more if I don't know, and I will learn more about you in the next few minutes. In case you are not in the transport or not very not aware of what kind of industries I'm referring to. One of those is cargo units that they do supply chain, fuel and gas or logistics. Also passenger transportation. We have personal transportation, school that I mentioned before, touristic transportation, public services. Last mile, I don't know, UPS, utility in mining, construction, or services, waste, recycling services, first responders, etc., etc. So all these, all people, all companies that use this and have this kind of transport, they always need to keep track of them and what's going on, and see if they can save some dollars on diesel. Electric vehicles, we serve them as well. And we've been working now for 15 years in Mexico with Geotab. I don't know if any of you know Geotab. This is a telematic company, the biggest in the world. We have more than 4 million vehicles connected in America, in Canada, in Europe, in Asia. We're everywhere. So here in Mexico, we have been with Geotab for 15 years. And something that makes Ditcom different from other resellers from the brand is that we do our own solutions. And if we have the opportunity to talk more about that, I will be very happy to be able to tell you more. But just for now, let me tell you that we are currently in more than 16 countries. Mexico, we have the most of our business here, but we've been in Australia, in France, in New York, we are in Canada, we are in Peru, Chile, and many, many, many transport business that need technology in order to upgrade their performance. Look for solutions and find Indeedcom a good partner to work with. I wanted to keep this a slide so you can kind of have an idea of what we are doing. These are photos for some of our clients. You can see mining here, touristic. We have one client in Cancun, and he has over 300 units. He moves all the tourism over there, and we do all the technology for them, since video cameras, GPS, and all that. We serve also companies from scratch. Volkswagen is one of the brands that trusted in Ditcom in order to have their technology branded by Ditcom. So we provide everything, and they just sell it all Mexico with our name. And well, we like to sell, but we like better to make partnerships, to be able to connect with people, to connect with business, and see how we can help. We've been doing this for 15 years, so we're very happy to now be able to go to the States and to the world, as you saw before. So here we are, and well, what we are looking for right now in Global Chambers is understanding how to start our business in the States, how to connect with American industry. We are not that familiar with the culture over there. We don't know anybody, so you are the very first, and maybe be able to connect with one company here and there that own fleets of vehicles. I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe 300 if possible, that we can talk with them and show them what we have, that would be awesome. And
Okay.
so thank you. Well, this is our offering to Global Chamber.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. We have a couple minutes. There's a couple people that kind of spring out immediately to help that are in the room here. I think Joanna Moore is one, given her aerospace and deep knowledge of that supply chain. She's probably someone that you should know. And I wish I could. I call her Joanna Moore, but there's another name in there that's a
Joanna
Polish
Moore
name.
is good.
She's a much
Good
better
afternoon.
pronouncer of that. How are you, Joanna?
I'm very good. Yeah, very good, Doug. Thank you for
Are you zooming
introducing.
in from Switzerland or from Seattle or
No,
someplace else today?
Seattle. No, today Seattle.
Okay.
And I am very pleased, Denise. Let's connect. Let's talk. I'm in aerospace, aircraft rating, but also in other parts of transportation. So, yeah. Let's talk. And probably this will be very interesting to introduce you to USA and other countries globally. So,
Thank you.
nice to meet you.
Joanna had worked for Boeing for many years, and so and then she's worked through the whole supply chain. So she's a really great person for you to know. She's a good person for everybody to know.
Well, thank you. That's a nice introduction.
And then another person, when you said something, you said you don't know American culture as much as you'd like to. Christina Wachter from Salt Lake City, University of Utah, associate professor, but also her own consulting company. And she has a book that helps companies understand how to work cross culture. She knows Americans, and she knows a good hamburger when she sees one as well. So Christina, probably a good connection here is for you as well.
Yes, thank you, Doug. I was just getting ready to direct message you, Denise. I would love to set up a time to talk to you. I help with acculturation, help people to start where they are. Everyone starts at a certain point of understanding, and we work on steps in order to develop cultural competency, cultural fluency, and it's a process of cultural immersion so that we build cultural bridges using my system, the 4-step toolkit. And that is it would be amazing to talk to you in more detail.
Wow, those are many competitions, cultural. I want to be cultural competent. So thank you.
Let's talk for sure. I'll send you my contact info in the chat box.
That's great.
So much.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to keep moving because we wrap up by the top of the hour. So we want to make sure we have time to finish up with everybody. So if you have interest to meet any of the speakers or you have ideas for them, either put something in the chat, email to Cesar directly, info@globalchamber.org. Invariably, what happens during the meeting is Cesar is there. It's a little bit late in Puerto Rico right now, but he's there. Have you already had your dinner, Cesar, or are you in the midst of it, or what's the state?
I haven't. I'm ready to get my dinner after this call and watch the game between Argentina and Canada. That's my next step after the meeting.
I see. Okay. Well, sorry about that. But invariably what happens, and actually I just got one on my cell phone, I get an email that just came out and Cesar just made an introduction to somebody. And so that's kind of happening real time. So thank you, Cesar, for what you do. Thank you, Denise. It was great to learn more. I've also got a couple of ideas. So what Cesar typically will do, or either Elisa or Cesar will document. Elisa is not available today, but Cesar will. Then he'll send that to me. I'll add to that, and then we'll start making some additional introductions. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everybody.
I'd like to next, because I don't see a scene yet. So our Thailand person is, when he jumps in, I'll just kind of keep an eye out for him. Let's go now to our a traveler, Shupto Mabub from Matrix Minds. And I had the good fortune this week to do some travel myself. And we had a very large and amazing event in Chicago, right downtown, viewing the canal. If you saw the post, it showed kind of that classic Chicago downtown views and some great leaders on our advisory board, including Demetris Evans, who everybody here should know. If you don't, just an incredible attorney, recently added to the Illinois District Export Council. And we actually had the state of Illinois international leader, both for exporting and for foreign direct investment, Marco Markopoulos, join us. Her family is from the same area of Greece as my wife, so we have a little bit of a connection there. It was just a great event. We had 100 empanadas, and only a few were left. They were Argentine empanadas made by a Uruguayan fellow in Chicago, the best empanadas in Chicago. And then I Googled the best spanakopita because our speaker being from Greece, and it was an amazing spinach pie from probably the best place in Chicago. There's a few Greeks in Chicago, so we had a great time. Shupto, did I say anything wrong there? Did I get anything wrong? Over exaggerate maybe?
No, it was right to the point, and it was great. Especially Margot, she was really great. She enlightened in many different opportunity a business can take. So I think I was being with audience, and I see those are very helpful. I mean, this law changes, opportunity comes by minute. Also, Dan was a great resource from federal government. Dan, the gentleman who spoke Federal Chambers and Commerce.
Dan Kim with the U.S. Commercial Service.
Yes.
Yep, gotcha.
We have a lot of different awards. I mean, it will be great for Denise, when you come to this country. I mean, like all those opportunity that you have from the government for businesses. These are, freebies. I mean, you can take them if there are, of course, some conditions and stuff like that. But it was a great meeting. I think the content, people are very friendly, especially Demetris. I love her. I mean, she was go global and unstoppable. So that's her slogan. I don't want us to miss her, so I'm giving her slogan, kind of.
She's amazing. You're amazing too. And Shupto spent a lot of time in New York, where I'm from originally. He's subsequently, in the last year, they're in Sacramento, but they still have an office in New York, and they're helping primarily in North America with getting businesses' financial situation in line. He's somewhat of a fractional CFO style. And what I've noted about him is a couple things. One is he's very competent. He's very hardworking. He's very sincere. And so a lot of what his characteristics are personally are what I value so much about being part of the global tribe. And that is, those characteristics make it a lot easier to do business. So thank you, Shupto, for all that you do. What's new, or what would you like to share with us about what you guys are doing at Matrix Minds?
Sure. Thank you very much, Doug, for the introduction. Look, I met Doug for the first time in Chicago. I know he was great. I was referred by another friend from ACG, our seminar, Phil, you probably know. And after I met Doug and I called back Phil, I'm like, Phil, you gave me the right person. I never met such a great person. I guess we are both fellow New Yorkers, so that's why, we have a connection. But as Doug said, I'm Shupto Mahbub. I founded Matrix Minds Financial Consultant recently, but I've been CFO in New York area over 20 years. I have worked in many different industries, particularly mostly New York with venture capitalist, private equity group, retail group, and started many companies in nationally, internationally. There are lots of challenges depending what nationality you are in. I have worked with any top-notch lawyer, accounting firms you can think of. I have worked with them, and actually I am partnered with them. They are my channel partners. So if there is any complicated in business, it will always be, especially if you're international, we are competent enough to figure it out with our channel partners. It could be transfer pricing issue, it could be sales tax, it could be taxation, and more so in the financial focus would be like, what should be your pricing, who should you go, what type of stuff you need to be compliant with particular states. More so also, that's just my personal expertise, like how to set up a particular company in the United States so that you can actually take tax benefits. If you are especially international company, it's also helpful for you because you make money and you want to save the money and you want to make the bottom line higher. So that's my expertise, and that's what my team at Matrix Minds we do. We also do a certain thing. We combine technology with accounting, so we have a very good managed accounting outsource service, which is basically we take the technology and we implement it with accounting software. So that's one side. I am being the fractional CFO. I first of all look at like this particular market, what's your pricing so that you can make money? What's your industry market standard? Who are your competitor? What they are doing? And how should you attack those type of industry? I also know a lot of banks. That's who I work with, particularly private equity bank. So if you have a sourcing issue, fund source issue, and growth issue, I can help you guys with my relationship with the banks and private equity to get this resolved and finally make the money or get in successful mode. So those are the things we offer at Matrix Minds. I do actually decided to, if you are Global Chambers client, I would do 10% discount on my fees. That's just because I love Doug. Usually I do 1 hour just assessment service free, but with global member, I'll do 2 hours just to look over your books. Even if you have it set up, let me look at it. Let me see are you in the best way set up. Trust me, it always help a second set of eyes. I have always found issues. You want to be compliant, right? Any business, even national business. I have a lot of clients that I see like there's a lot of issue. IRS may not be knocking your door now, but later when you grow and go big, there may be problem. And that's what I have faced in my 20 years of career when I built companies, or from like after 10 years, I got so many states knocking my door, suing me, and we had to handle those situations. So I think it's better to be informed rather than getting a surprise 10 years down the road when you have a lot to lose. So those are the things that my focus being a CFO. I like to make money. That's my nature. But at the same time, let's be safe and let's calculate our risk. Because if you run a business without calculating your risk, it's very difficult, and there's a lot to lose. So that's what we do at Matrix Minds. So we try to be second set of eyes if you have already a solution. And if you have a solution, I want to see how are you maximizing the solution, and is there any room for you to grow, not just from the top line, but from the bottom line, meaning savings your expense, do the shopping in the vendor side, and getting you referral in different situation.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll leave it on Doug right now.
Okay, very good. My recommendation is if you do have a question to raise your hand so that we can get to you first. But if there's anybody that would just like to unmute and ask a question or make a comment or suggest someone to meet for Shepto, very open on any of those. We have a minute or two for at least one. Anybody have any comments? Sebastian, are you about to say something?
Thanks, Doug. Yeah. Shepto, I think maybe it would be great to connect.
Sure.
In the medium term, I have someone who is interested in opening their business in the US and might need some numbers help. So I think it would be a great connection. I can connect you with this person.
Sure, let's do that.
Fantastic. Thank you. If there's anybody else or you have some additional ideas, let us know. But I think the private equity angle that you mentioned, for some reason, I hadn't heard about that. So Cesar, we've been back and forth with Deborah in in outside of Denver about that market, and I'm happy to make that introduction to make sure that they're connected. I think there's probably some connectivity there that can turn into some positive things. While we, Shupto, thank you for sharing today, and again, thank you for your kind words. And it was great to meet you in person and hear more today. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I see Paula is here. Paula Macedo from Portugal. So, Paula, I mean, it's late there. What's going on? Did you have a hard time sleeping?
Midnight.
Congratulations on that. Paula's a relatively new member, pretty new member, and she's in real estate. She's an expert on Portugal overall. Anything related to Portugal she can help with, but particularly on the real estate side. Would you just like to say hi, introduce yourself briefly for a minute or two?
Okay.
Since it's midnight.
And given I waited so many hours.
Yeah. No, actually, I haven't even told Cesar that, but there's some sort of a calendaring glitch where she thought it was 12 hours ago. So she texted me, for 4 a.m. and I'm crazy. So I happened to be up at the time. It's like, wait a minute. No, it's actually in 12 hours. So you and I have spent a lot of time together over the last 12 hours, but you do some really good work. And so thank you for hanging on for a little bit longer. We'll work out whatever calendaring issue that was.
Well, it's my first experience here in the League of Opportunities. I was very curious to see one meeting. I'm very, very, very new in Global Chamber. And what I do, I assist. I have a company that I established in the 2020 in the COVID era. And my company is a one-stop shop, so to say, to any private or corporate that wants to invest or buy a property in Portugal of whatever kind. We assist the person or the company with all the expertise areas that are required to make a good purchase, a good investment: procurement, legal, tax, profitability, valuations, engineering, due diligence, everything. So, and this service is mostly designed for foreigners that want to come and do something in Portugal. Well, holidays, retire, or have businesses.
Okay.
Well, that's it. For 1 minute.
That's perfect. That's great. So anything related to that region, and Portugal is one of those hot areas that everybody should know about, please jump in and get connected to Paula. And actually, I was mentioning about Global Chamber communities earlier. One of the fun ones today that we kind of opened up was the global real estate one. And so to watch the dynamics between you and Erica in Las Vegas and Alexia with her Greek background, and also I think Yuka might have been involved in that, and also James Wong, who is with eXp Realty and is basically running their global commercial real estate side of it. I think you'll find all of them really fun and interesting. So it's been fun to watch you guys start to interact with each other. So thank you for jumping in early on.
I will continue to explore. Yeah, they are very active.
Yeah, we will have hundreds of these groups, and so they're really intended for members to engage at a deeper level and an ongoing level. And so watch for those as they continue to roll out, kind of one by one, or today I think we rolled out a couple more dozen, and so it's kind of step by step. Let's go now to Gerald Soller, and correct me on the pronunciation, please do say it, but FC Consulting I know very well because I met Fernando. I met him in person as well over time. It was one of my most fun experiences in Marina del Rey I've ever had, because I got to meet him and his wife and his 2 daughters who play softball. And so his company has a unique capability to vet people, their backgrounds, especially during the hiring process, and they also have cybersecurity capabilities. And so there's a lot of technology that they bring to the table based out of Mexico. And I'm wondering if you could, Gerald, explain a little bit more and what's new and anything else that we need to know.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, just first off, thank you to Cesar, Doug, and the Global Chamber team for the invitation to speak here. It's an honor. Let me see if I can share my presentation.
Where are you zooming in from?
I am currently based between Manila and Hong Kong, currently in Manila. But I
okay,
am
not in
actually,
the ocean somewhere in between,
No.
but actually one or the other city. I got it. Okay.
But I'm actually also an ex-New Yorker. I spent the first part of my career in New York before moving out to Asia, but we were here for about 17 some odd years now. So
Okay, I knew I liked you. That's great.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Good morning. I'm Gerard Escalaire. I'm a partner at F&C Consulting Group. I'm also here on the call with Geraldo Nakabe, who's our global co-head of our cybersecurity practice. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to just briefly discuss our firm to you. We're basically a global forensic investigations and compliance consulting firm, dual headquartered out of Mexico City and also San Antonio, Texas. Our vision, as Fernando likes to say, is to raise the culture of integrity in individuals to improve society and its organizations. So FNC is about 8 years old. Fernando's been doing this for about 8 years. I only joined them about maybe 3 to 4 years ago. We have a global team of about 30 with global coverage across the Americas, EMEA, and also Asia Pacific. Our team is comprised primarily of accountants, lawyers, and consultants. And as Doug mentioned, Fernando is our CEO. He used to head up the forensics practice at Deloitte in LATAM. Also used to work for a couple of the other big fours, Control Risks. And yeah, so he's the one who basically co-founded the company. The primary pain point that we are solving, let me see if I can advance the slide here, is basically involves increasing challenges related to cybersecurity. So while we've noticed that there are a number of companies of all sizes that are rapidly adopting artificial intelligence, many of their executives still lack a deeper understanding of AI and basically its long-term overall impact on the organization's security posture, or basically how they assess and manage risk related to unlawful attempts to access their systems, network, and data. In addition, about almost half of all the sensitive data remains unencrypted and is potentially vulnerable to exploitation from threat actors. But the good news is that about 70% of organizations have prioritized cybersecurity as a top 3 initiative for this year. So that presents an opportunity for both us and also our clients. In terms of how we can help our global chamber members, we offer a range of investigations and compliance solutions that include investigations, third-party risk management, cybersecurity, ESG materiality assessments and reporting, compliance, internal controls, and also learning and development through our F&C Academy. For cyber specifically, we also do corporate IT governance, regulatory compliance through risk assessments and internal controls, IT and security audits, as well as design and implementation of best practices and international standards. In terms of who we'd like to connect with, basically any organization that wants to strengthen their security posture or that is seeking more information on the parties that they do business with. So that could be doing background checks on their employees or doing deeper dives into potential strategic partners. And our clients tend to be C-suite, specifically for the cyber part, chief technology officers, chief information security officers, as well as the security team. Where we need your help is basically, of course, any referrals or partnerships would be very much appreciated, as well as to the extent possible, sharing what we do on social media. And in terms of how we can help you, we can basically offer like a 5% discount on ISO certifications related to ISO 37001 on anti-bribery management systems, ISO 27001 on information security. And also through our network, we have a lot of contact with technology startups in Asia Pacific. But we also provide services to the large multinational clients. So our clients have also included global investment banks, global technology companies. And lastly, we also have a local security partnership in the Philippines with a company called KKG Security. So if anyone is interested in meeting them, we're also happy to facilitate an introduction. So that's it for our brief talk. I've added mine and Geraldo's email here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Fantastic. One of the people in the audience that probably would be a good fit for you from a referral standpoint would be Gary Moulton of Schooley Mitchell, because they touch in technology, but their overall efforts on cost reduction could not only be supportive of the work that you're doing, but also trading information about clients that you each know. He's been around forever. He's still young too, and it's amazing. So, but his connections are deep, so probably be a good connection for you as well. Gary,
Yeah, look,
hopefully you don't mind if I introduce you.
I got to be honest. I thought you were going to mention the fact that I went through a ransomware attack that destroyed a company. So I've got some great experience on that life-changing event. Yeah.
Wow. Which company was that? Was that
Calibra? Yeah.
Oh my God. So really, okay. So that's how we met. You know, I think I either forgot or I wasn't sure so you know the danger that can occur.
Yep, intimately. Yeah. So let's. I'll reach out, Gerard. Let's have a conversation. I'd love to help if I can in any way.
Okay. Thanks, Gary.
Any other questions or thoughts? Let's see. Very good. One person who's in leadership that could be also a good fit would be Rutherford Pascal. He's got a new website. So congratulations on that, Rutherford. You've had such a long, great corporate career. Now, as you enter the next phase, congratulations on the website and the training that you've had and support. Anything, either this last presentation or any of the other presentations, resonate with you?
No, absolutely. And thank you. Great presentation, Gerald. You got a lot of stuff going on in cybersecurity. And I was actually thinking about taking a course on that for a board seat that I'm on. So just because cybersecurity is such a big deal with that in that situation. So really interesting. And anytime if you want to talk, Gerald, about what's going on with you, and if I can help in any way from a leadership perspective, just contact me.
Yeah, remind us what your corporate background was.
Oh, so I spent 30 years in pharmaceuticals, big pharma. I was with 3 Fortune 100 companies. I was the head of sales for the last company. It was the #1 selling drug in the world for about a year and a half until these weight loss medications came in and took over. But yeah, so I've spent years and years and years helping lead people at pharmaceutical companies, growing leaders, building teams, all that kind of stuff.
Congratulations. Now you're helping people be more effective in leadership.
Yeah, helping leaders lead better. That's the goal. And in any industry, and industry agnostic, just helping leaders retain better, build a better culture, help people develop people in a better way. So that's what I'm doing.
So, and Rutherford comes to us through his son, and actually I'm in touch with him. We're putting together, he's in commercial real estate. And so we're putting in, I want to say Spring Realty, but I may be getting the name wrong.
Steam.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Stream Realty. And so we're putting together an event with Global Chamber with on autonomous technologies. So, you know, the Waymos of the world. One of our members is Kubota. They have tractors that are autonomous, and they're out there kind of just doing stuff. So there's all sorts of really fun things going on. So check that out. And Rutherford, thanks for your leadership and your teaching people leadership. That's awesome. So Gerald, thank you for the presentation today. Really, really helped formulate some ideas. Hopefully it has for some of the folks in the audience as well. Undoubtedly, probably for Cesar as well. So we'll have some additional introductions over the next few days. And again, thank you. Stay well. Let's now go to Sebastian. Sebastian Nervez of Global Elite Outsourcing. And so, Sebastian, you are, for some reason, I've always thought of you as being either in Miami or Southern Florida. Whereabouts are you? I know we've been collaborating for a long time, and congratulations on this venture.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that. So 3 years ago, I moved down to Latin America. I am currently based out of Bogota. And I remember that. Typically go back and forth between Miami and Bogota, probably about every two to 3 months. I'm traveling, so yeah. But thanks for the warm intro, and nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Sebastian. I've been around Global Chamber for a while now. It's been great to see, you know, a lot of people joining Global Chamber and connecting across metros. And I am currently in a company that provides an employer of record service in Latin America, specifically in Latin America. We're based out of the United States, but we started providing professional services. So mainly for those companies who are looking to expand into or tap into different markets across Latin America, but maybe don't have the capital to start their own entity, local entity, or they are doing some market research and they want to hire sales representatives, or some companies that are looking to be more cost efficient and they're outsourcing their IT personnel and some other departments out of Latin America. That's what we do. We basically hire your staff on our behalf in Latin America, and we do all the HR management, compliance, and payroll for them. And most of our business is currently taking place in Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia as great hubs for everything related to IT mainly. Of course, cost efficient, and liability typically is one of the things we help companies with, because liability is mainly on us, in terms of employing someone down here in Latin America. Recently, we started a joint venture with a Uruguayan company called Telecom Networks. We are mainly on the professional services side of things, but Telecom Networks also has call centers and contact centers in 4 countries across Latin America. That's of course a different niche, but we're working together because it's basically same business cycles. So whether you're looking for 1, 2, 3 positions, or you're looking to step up an entire call center, we're happy to help. And we have a few benefits for our Global Chamber members. Typically, we started working across the lines of bank fees. We have discounts on bank fees, and we also have discounts on management fees per employee. So yeah, that's kind of the opportunity we have here. And thanks, Doug, for the invitation, and Caesar.
Thank you. Great diversification that you've done there. When you talk about the resources that you pull from to be able to help, how does Colombia come into it, or is that just not really related to what you're doing? Tell us more about who you would typically target, and then how does Colombia play into that?
Yeah, it's very related. A lot of American companies are outsourcing their BPO, their back office, their recruitment, or even their IT members. And Colombia has a huge hub for that, which is Medellin. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Medellin. It's probably the biggest hub in Colombia for outsourcing, and there is a lot of opportunity in terms of the human capital here related to that. Our biggest operation is currently in Colombia, and that's one of the reasons for which I'm here. And of course, we all know that sometimes outsourcing, different positions in a company, having them remote or even starting an office in a different location can be very cost efficient for a company in terms of salaries, in terms of company costs. So that's kind of the importance. Geographically speaking, Colombia also has a very important location because, it's in the middle of the Americas, basically. So, a lot of the clients, especially from North America, prefer it because it's easier to, travel and find people who, can speak English very well. And, salaries are considerably lower than in the US. So those are some of the opportunities that we can find here.
Okay, very good. I presume Cesar has already connected you to Rigo over in Venezuela?
Not yet.
name?
I don't think.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. He's moving and shaking, even though the connections he has are probably worth noting, and so we'll trade information. He just opened his office there, and he's got some really interesting things going on. So at some point, it probably makes sense. Does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts for Sebastian? Cesar, you've been working with Sebastian for quite a while. Fun to see the progress that he's been making. So really exciting. Any comments that you would want to have based on your working with Sebastian?
Thanks, Doug. Actually, I can add a little bit. Yes, I'm using Sebastian's services for the family business here. We hire someone in Bogota that's taking care of some administrative stuff. So it's been a pleasure working with the team, and no problems at all. So I just want to vouch for that. And Sebastian, I'm gonna check about Rigo. I thought you were all connected, but I know Roberto. You and Roberto are connected, and I'm pretty sure Roberto is connected with Rigo as well. But definitely, a good connection overall to have in the region. And I've been taking notes for others as well.
Thanks, Cesar.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much. I think that we had one more speaker, and so Asim, unless you're in under no other name, not here. I will say, make a comment about Factum Global. Factum Global is a longtime partner of Global Chamber. They just did their global business survey, which we supported. They gave the results. Actually, while I was in Chicago the other day, I was driving around Chicago picking up empanadas and Greek pastries, and I was listening to the Globinar while I was driving around. And basically, if I had to summarize what the results were, first of all, they got the largest turnout that they've had in terms of filling out the survey with global business people. And then secondly, the vast majority of them concluded that the risks associated with doing global business are not as great as the opportunity. So the opportunity outweighs the risk. And so they are moving full steam ahead with global business, expanding in different countries. There's some tempering relative to a year or two ago. The world is a little bit more of a dangerous place. The risk is a little bit higher, but nonetheless, the opportunity is also higher as well. So they reviewed that. They talked about technology and how it plays in. So Factum Global is an important organization. If you want to do business somewhere else in the world, they have information about that place undoubtedly. And I think we were going to have their Thailand person actually speak today. We are putting together a Thailand event with them, I believe in July, maybe August. And so watch for that, probably with the bank or the what is it? The Bureau of Investment or the Board of Investment. That's what it is with Thailand. So we have about 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes. We don't need to go the whole 5 minutes, but there's a few of you who have not spoken yet. Does anybody want to say anything about what's coming up or something that you need or anything that you'd like to share? Not more than a minute though each. Anybody have anything?
Hi, Doug. This is Joanna Moore again. To everybody, if I see there's a lot of skill sets and opportunities. I'm in aircraft trading and consulting in aerospace. So if any of you have connections, if somebody would like to buy an airplane or sell one, airplane, helicopter, cargo, VIPs, I would love to collaborate. Just connect with me, Joanna Moore, Convertee. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. And Joanna is the previously had worked for Boeing, knows the supply chain really well, and to the point where she sells planes. You know, but she knows the supply chain, and we've been partnering actually longer than Global Chamber has been around. We've done some aerospace programs pre-Global Chamber that we collaborated on, and actually over the last few hours, actually, I think we worked out kind of what the next collaboration will be. So watch for more on that. Thanks for your continued work and dedication to the industry and to global business, Joanna. Appreciate it.
Yes, we have a nonprofit here. We are talking about aerospace nonprofits. We have events once a month globally, online. This is the events we are collaborating with Global Chamber, obviously, since we are going global, and we have in-person meetings in Arizona and Seattle, Washington, also on a monthly basis, global networking. A little bit different aspect because it's really aerospace space related, but the key is here to collaborate and be successful. And thank you, Doug, again for a long collaboration with us.
Indeed. And one of the things that Joanna knows really well, because she's from Poland and because she knows aerospace, is that region, that kind of aerospace region centered in Poland, but also in neighboring countries like Hungary included. Hungary is a little bit weird right now, but those things change. And so the markets will continue to be there. And so Joanna is an expert on all of those. And so definitely worth knowing. Does anybody else have anything to say? Still have another minute or two.
Hey, Doug, this is Pankaj. So, we are a global VC fund manager and wanted to help funding. Anyone is looking for a funding, please reach out to Cesar. He's the man. So he can take care of everything. So reach out to Cesar. And unfortunately, I don't have any LinkedIn. I'm trying hard to meet Sutta Nadella and the Brad Smith. They are the master of LinkedIn. We'll meet soon, so request them. Then otherwise, LinkedIn, we are doing good. Thank you so much.
Keep working on it. But what's really cool about Pankaj is it's big dollar deals that he's able to put together, mega $1 million deals, and his connections in the VC world and the banking world are legendary. So definitely check that out. He is in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is not the biggest city in the world, but it doesn't need to be. He travels. And so if big funding is something that you or someone would need, definitely contact Pankaj. So
thank you so much.
You're very active in Facebook, and so thank you for tagging us. And
yes, I miss LinkedIn because unfortunate thing happenings. So just you know that. So that's why I tag you. At least you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
A lot in
I'm doing.
semicon,
Yep.
which is cool. So, so I think Cesar has another call right now, and I have a call with the Philippines that I need to jump on. So I think we're going to end it right here. So I would say a couple things. Number one, it's 5 p.m. here on the West Coast, and I believe in 11 hours. No, let's see, 8 and it's 5 o'clock. So 15 hours from now, we'll do part 2 of the League of Opportunities. So it's 8 a.m. Pacific time. And then whatever time that ends up being for you to see part 2, there's another 5 organizations that'll be here that are all members of Global Chamber. I'm not sure what else we have tomorrow, but we have lots going on going forward. Next week is one of our busiest weeks ever. So we have a lot of educational programming next week. And then the week after that, we have nothing planned. So we have a clean week during July 4th week, but next week, very busy. So jump in, have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend if we don't talk with you. Thanks for joining today, everybody. Connect up, be global and unstoppable. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks,
Paula,
Stefan.
get a good night's
Bye
sleep.
bye.
Okay?
Thank you.
Sleep